Welcome to another edition of the Nightly Nuge. And Ted, the question this week is, who is the real enemy of the Republic? You remember when Biden gave that red speech, looked a lot like Nazi Germany, and he said MAGA, we're extremists and the enemy of the Republic. But you know what? I'd just like to show you a little clip of the president talking about this poor fella, Cayler Ellingson, that got ran down by Shannon Brandt. Let's listen to the president.
Just recently, a young 18-year-old man from North Dakota, I'm sure you read this over the last 2 days, named Cayler Ellingson, a young man, so handsome, beautiful, 18 years old, was targeted and killed, run down in cold blood with an SUV by a radical left maniac. He was a radical left stupid person simply because he was a Republican, and he was so proud of being a Republican, and this guy ran him down, and not one mainstream media network has even mentioned this horrible crime. Think of it. Now think of it the other way. Supposing a MAGA person ran down somebody on the other side, it'd be the biggest story you've ever seen. It's a disgrace. You people should be ashamed of yourselves. You should be ashamed of yourself.
So it seems to me, Ted, that the Democrats are calling MAGA and Republicans extremists when maybe the opposite is true. And the other thing I'd like you to point out and talk about, Ted, is the guy that ran down this kid, he's out on bail, $50,000, when there's been a lot higher bail set for other individuals that happen to be Republicans. Ted, what's your take on all of this?
Well, luckily I took my kid gloves off back in the 1960s, so I don't play games with presumptions or trying to be a genteel soul in this horrible, horrible culture war that has turned into a spiritual war. Let's just call a spade a spade. The Democrats are a danger not just to democracy, not just to America, but to mankind. Remember, it was the Democrats who fought against the Civil Rights Act. It was the Democrats who created the Jim Crow laws. It was the Democrats that were maniacal and pure rot when it came to segregation and when it came to civil rights being denied to our fellow Americans of color.
That's right.
And to continue that legacy of hate, and it's so apparent when the Democrat Party bails out people caught on film burning down Seattle and Portland and Chicago and New York and ransacking police cars in Philadelphia and all around this country. Nothing has changed. Something has to change. We, the people, have to let our elected employees know that what has happened to this young man by the hate and the terrorism of a Democrat, spurred on and encouraged, I believe cultivated and orchestrated by the Democrat leadership, going right to Joe Biden in a satanic red-lit speech, and what Chuck Schumer says, and what all these Democrats say, that MAGA, making America great, is bad for America. This is a world turned upside down. Clearly, the Democrats are responsible for the terrorism, the arson, the burning down of our cities, the cold cocking and murdering of people on the streets, the slashing of Asian women on the streets of New York, the carjacking explosion, the violent crime explosion. These Democrats are literally celebrating the most violent of crime and the most violent of criminals. And we, the people, can't sit back and just keep squawking about it. These people will mow down a teenager because he's voicing Republican, we the people, God, family, country, freedom, work ethic, law and order. There is a war on cops, and the Nugent family joins the Keith Mark family and everybody watching Nightly News right now who has a heart and soul and a conscience. We need to pray for our friends in law enforcement. There is a war on cops. We have to let everybody from our mayor, senator, congressman, governor, our chief of police, our state trooper commander, our sheriff. We need to let the heroes of law enforcement, that we the people stand with the law enforcement for law and order, and that this guy got out on a $50,000 bond when he admitted he ran over this kid because of a political feud.
That's
Meanwhile, Kyle Rittenhouse on film, clear and present, unambiguous self-defense, and he had a multi-million-dollar bail bond put on him, and he had to spend millions of dollars proving that what the video showed that he acted in self-defense. This really is Planet of the Apes meets the Cuckoo's Nest, Clockwork Orange. You know, Rod Serling wouldn't even produce this Twilight Zone. So once again, we can't just squawk. We've got to let our elected employees know that we know what they're doing, and they better stand with the people who stand for law and order, not the Democrat Party, who is out of control, rampant, violent crime.
That's why, Ted, I agree with you. You often encourage our listeners to go to hunternation.org, because hunternation.org is a place for conservative, God, family, country, loving individuals. That's a great place and a great organization to be part of. If you go to hunternation.org this week, you will see there's a chance to win a hunt with Ted Nugent on his home place down in Texas. It's an incredible hunt. You'll want to get a chance to win that. So go to hunternation.org. Ted, tomorrow, when we join each other, I want to talk to you about, again, who's the enemy of the people. I want to talk again about the DOJ. They're up to it again. I want to get your take tomorrow night right here on the Nightly News, where there is absolutely no fake news.
No fake news, reporting live from the Upper Peninsula of Michigan Bear Camp, where my spirit is alive and well. Thank you, Keith.